Hey guys, it is me again. Um, so today I'm going to be talking about a movie that was actually a suggestion from someone from Ariel actually. And honestly, I actually first saw this movie because of Ariel about 11 years ago. I first saw it. She actually lent it to me one day in class um, back in one of our classes together at Harper. She lent this movie to me years ago just to see because I'd never heard of it, I'd never seen it, and when I watched it, I pretty much instantly fell in love with it. And that movie was 2002's May. And don't worry, this is my own copy. Like I didn't borrow it from Ariel like 11 years ago. Never gave it back. I gave it back for this is my own copy. So just in case if any of you guys are like, what? You borrowed it from her 11 years ago and you never returned it? What? Yeah. So this is my own copy. Don't worry. I gave her back, her copy back. Um, so yeah, this is a fun little movie. Like I said, came out in 2002, same year as the remake of the first remake of Carrie. Only reason why I even bring up that remake is because both those movies, both these movies, that 2002 Carrie and this movie May, both star and leading ladies are Angela Betty's. So only reason why I kind of bring that out, that little side note out. Um, but yeah, so it has her, it has Angela Betty's, who I've kind of mentioned in a previous video, in my Carrie video actually, I kind of mentioned her. Like I said in that video, she's Angela Betty's really kind of, you know, has been in quite a few things and so, really kind of plays those very offbeat characters and stuff, which is something that I really like about her. Like I know I've mentioned that in my previous video that she was in obviously Carrie. She's obviously been in this. Been in she's been in a ton of stuff. She's been in an episode of Masters of Horror. She was in Girl Interrupted and stuff. So she's been in a lot. She's definitely like one of those faces where you might not know the name, but you see her face and you're kind of like, oh wait, I've seen her in something else. So, but yeah, it has her. It has Jeremy Sisto from Clueless. He was in 13. Another actor who's in a lot of stuff, and I feel is kind of not afraid to take kind of like offbeat roles and stuff, not like the stereotypical roles and stuff. And then also it has Anna Faris in it, who was from like the scary movies, like the Scream parody movies. I think like the first three she was in. She was in My Super Ex Girlfriend. I know she's in a TV show now, which is pretty popular. I can't even think of the name, but I know she's in a pretty successful comedy show right now. She's a good actress too. Very funny. I like her. I like her humor and everything. Um, but so yeah. So getting to May. So May is pretty much obviously about Angela Betty's character May. She plays May. And she, her character's a very much a loner, very kind of just like socially awkward and everything. Like I can kind of relate to that because I'm a little like slightly socially awkward. Like it just I get very like nervous around like people and everything, which is kind of weird because like I know I work in retail, but it's like even sometimes at work I'm like oh my god, I have to interact with people. Like it's I get nervous about it, so I kind of can relate to someone like May, although I'm not to the extreme of May like she is. But yeah, she's a very kind of shy, just very kind of not a whole lot of like typical normal like people skills and everything that we kind of all sort of like learn on our way growing up and everything. Like she has kind of like, there's some like sort of like flashbacks and stuff to like her childhood, and you kind of see like, like her parents didn't have like the best relationship and stuff, and like she was a very um like very much a loner kid. Like she didn't really have any friends growing up or anything, and literally like all like her only kind of like friend is this sort of like creepy looking doll that's in this like case and stuff. This like sort of like China doll or whatever. That's kind of like really her only friend, and like even in the movie, like if she's getting ready for work or something, like she literally is talking to this doll like it's an actual person, or even if it's like a like how some people talk to like animals and stuff. Like with my dog, I get home from work and I'm like, oh, Mr. Peanut, how was your day and stuff, like little things like that, but never to like a doll. Like I would never like take my little freaking Seamus brawling bunny and be like, oh, Seamus, how was your day? Or like it's just weird. Like you do something like that with a dog, at the very least, like not a doll. But like I said, it's because she has no friends. She's just is very kind of like socially awkward. And then she kind of takes notice to this guy, this um, character Adam, played by Jeremy Sisto, and he's kind of like a typical kind of guy or whatever, kind of like is a bit of a flirt, maybe a slight player, I don't know, but just kind of definitely takes notice to May, gets to know her a little bit, and then kind of realizes, like, okay, she's, like, yeah, she's a little offbeat, but she's a little, like, too weird for my taste. And just kind of like a typical guy, or, like, with, like, a typical fling or whatever, just, goes out on, like, a date or two with her, and then it's just like, okay, no, I'm not really interested, and doesn't call. Like, that's sort of like a normal thing. Especially like I said, if it's like a little fling or whatever, you're just kind of getting to know someone. You're like, oh, okay, whatever, like not for me, and just decides not to return, her calls or anything. Um, but yeah, so like I don't know, I just can't get over how like socially awkward she is. Um, and like and really honestly, like the only sort of like the closest thing she has to sort of like a friendship or anything like anything closely resembling like a social life is um, you know going to work at this like little vet hospital. Who she also Her coworker there is uh, Anna Faris. Her character Polly works there, and I love, once again, like I love Anna Faris's character Polly, because she's like a ditzy little um, character. Like she plays like the secretary or something, and so like May will be coming in to work or whatever, and Anna's character Polly's like, the doctor says we need scoop bowls. We need scoop bowls. What are scoop bowls? I don't get what scoop bowls are. And May's like, oh, okay, so I need to order scalpels or whatever. And she's like, wait, oh yeah, it is scalpels. How did you figure that out? Like just very ditzy, but like in a good way. It's not like done in a way where it's like her character's completely stupid. She just, like I said, has little ditzy moments, and that's kind of interesting because like after the whole thing with Jeremy Sisto's character of like kind of like being rejected and stuff, um, Anna Faris's character Polly starts to like kind of take an interest in May, and is kind of like, oh, okay, I want to have like a little bit of fun with May, and starts taking an interest in her. And now May is kind of like, all at once she's got to like figure out, okay, wait, am I gay or am I straight? Like I've got a girl coming on to me. But she kind of May notices, I think, like, what was her, I think Polly's neck or something, like, oh, I love your neck or something, like, oh, you have like the perfect neck. So she kind of like notices that. Like, and this is like one of those things where, one of her traits where May will like look at someone's body part and be like obsessed with it. Like with Jeremy Sisto's character, like the thing she noticed about him was his hands. You know, like he was a mechanic or whatever, and she was like, "Oh my god, like he has like the best hands. He's got like, oh, his hands. I'm in love with his hands." So it's like, you know, anytime she meets someone, she always like fixates on like a specific body part because it's like, oh my god, it's the most perfect thing, and then you know, she always ends up getting rejected. So her little like revenge on like people kind of like basically sort of like in her mind using her and like just taking advantage of her. Which in, I think most cases, most people like okay, whatever. It was like a little fling or something. Not to make because just like I said, she doesn't like socially doesn't have the experience, doesn't understand because of her lack of experience. Like some of these, sometimes you meet people and they're just like little flings or whatever. They're just like little moments in your life. She really kind of will like, you know, go and like whatever. Um, so she, you know, the end of the movie, she, you know, gets so fed up of like not being able to have a friend and stuff. So she kind of goes out and creates her own friend, and she, you know, goes like cuts off Jeremy Sisto's hands. She like cuts off Anna Faris's head or whatever, and takes like her neck or something, and you know she takes another chick's like legs or whatever because she has like these freaking gorgeous legs, and she kind of like sews them all together to like this like sort of like scarecrow made torso, and then and then the part that always gets me, this always gets me whenever it involves eyes, is you know she's like talking to her friend, she's like, oh wait, you can't see me, you can't see me, you need an eye. So she literally takes like a pair of scissors, goes to the bathroom, and like like just thinking about it, I'm like, ugh. And she literally like pops out her own eye so she can like put on her friend, and then ends up like dying because she bleeds to death. At least that's my take on the ending, that she ended up dying, and like because she's dying, she kind of maybe hallucinates a little bit with like the hand of like her like Frankenstein friend like putting the hand on her head. But yeah, this movie is just and the whole movie is not like totally disgusting like that where it's like eye popping out. It just like, and like I said, I have such a thing about like anything to do with eyes, like even in Halloween Part 2 with like the needle going into like the side of the girl's eye, just oh, I can't do. um but yeah, so you know, quirky little movie, and I it's been a while since I've kind of like checked the message boards or anything, but it does seem like, you know, a lot of people do kind of enjoy this movie. Like a lot of people, you know, seem to be like it was kind of like a good movie. It's like, you know, a lot of people seem to be kind of finding little things in this movie and all that. But yeah, it's a, you know, it's a quirky little thing, and there's, you know, once again, like I said, there's, you know, there's some good humor in this. So it's like, I would say if you're not a huge horror fan, this would be perfect for you. But I mean, some of the like if you're not used to watching horror movies, you might be a little like, the movie's disgusting or whatever. But no, it's actually a pretty good movie, and especially if you want to maybe get away from like the like blood and gut type movies. You know, watch this one because I mean, obviously there is, you know, some like there is some like death scenes and everything. Obviously, if she's making a little Frankenstein friend, but it's not like overboard with like how some movies are, like say like Sleepaway Camp or, um, you know, like it's any one of those movies where it's like always just an abundance of like kill scenes. This one not so much. So most of like the death scenes obviously don't happen until like towards the end of the movie. So yeah, that's, you know, it with that being said, it does have like a pretty good like storyline and everything, and just kind of like what she goes through day to day. But yeah, so check this out. Just if for nothing else, just check it out for the good humor. Like the line that always still gets me to this day, and I even remember telling this to Ariel when I like after I'd watched it and it gave it back to her. I was like, oh my god, my favorite line of the movie is when she's got the cooler stuffed with like all these body parts and she's taking it home, and she's walking past a couple of teenagers, and like the girl that she's walking past, the little cheerleader girl, she asked, oh, you got some cold ones in there? And Meg, just without breaking stride, goes, yes I do, just like that. She says it so weird, it's in such a cute way that it cracks me up. Just, yes I do. It just still to this day, I love that line, that one little line that she replies with. And actually, speaking of that scene, the cheerleader girl that asks her that, I don't know why I'm like holding my pen like this, sorry, just realized that. But anyway, so the girl that was walking past her and was asking her that, she's dressed up like a cheerleader, and that's like the same exact costume as Lucky McKee's first movie, All Cheerleaders Must Die, which was released a year before Maeve, so in 2001. So just a little tidbit there. Once again, because you guys know I love little Easter eggs like that, especially little like nods of like, okay, that was my first movie, but I want to like just throw a little something, a little nod of my first movie, like my first actual movie in my second movie or whatever. So, but yeah, so you guys, please go check this out. I would love to actually know what everyone else thinks of this movie. Just because, like I said, it's one of those good little like, not necessarily scary, but it's got good humor, and it's you kind of, I don't know. At least I felt like I was always kind of like, what's she gonna do? What's she gonna do? Is she really gonna do this or whatnot? So yeah. So check it out, and let me know what you guys think. So, and then until next time, you guys, I will see you around. And once again, don't be afraid to give me a couple of suggestions, you guys. So until then, I will see you guys later.